give it a minute. There we go. We're back. Right, let's get on with it. If I can catch that wild turkey unawares. Though that's somewhat unlikely. Yeah, and it fled all the way over there.
On the motionless branches of some trees, autumn berries hung like clusters of coral beads, as in those fabled orchards where the fruits were jewels.
Give me some more science, please. Even if it's getting to the point where it's less than half of a turn's worth of science, I still greatly appreciate every contribution I can get to it. Yep, I easily must advance in the world. Which is quite nice. Nothing favors production. Food. Well, the fish traps. Culture? Let's leave it at that for now. Moon bear. Go. Another tale added to the folklore list. Lore list? The lore!
Yesterday's home runs don't win today's games.
Yeah, games are really, really old. Definitely not older than the concept of playing. The concept of playing is, well, it predates humanity. Play is a great way for younglings to learn new skills, so it sticks around a lot. Well, perhaps I should better say, it's existed for a very long time, so let's set up some more culture game. The more culture I obtain, the earlier I can get new traits and the more powerful my abilities become. Oh, there's indigo right there. Okay. Dye won't be a problem in the future. I mean, part of the problem is that dye is difficult. It's extremely difficult. Because despite how common natural dyes are, the dye producer requires a very specific list of resources. Sure, it's 3 different ones, but none of them are particularly common. Indigo is generally limited. It spawns a lot in certain areas, and others just doesn't appear at all. There's indigo everywhere on this island, though, so I got lucky. There's also Murex, which is a water resource. I'm not sure if it appears. Okay, where's the Civilopedia? There we go. Resources. Bear in mind, some of these might look a little strange. Murex. Trap fishing. Okay.
The venerable woods, rivers that move in majesty, and the complaining brooks that make the meadows green, and poured round all, old ocean's grey and melancholy waste, are but the solemn decorations all of the great tomb of man.
Another thing about C2C is that certain wonders don't show the obvious effect because certain things cannot be applied to every city. Simple stuff like, oh, happiness in all cities, or plus percent production, etc. Not everything can apply. Especially when adjustments have to be made. So the Lascaux Caves effect provides 1 science and 2 culture to every city, up until you hit the literature, in which you lose that. Same with the plus 2 education per turn. After that, if you have creative 1, it will give you 1 happiness. At least up until it's completely obsoleted with mass media. And I can replace rock art insofar as the fresco mural can be built. Ah, jeez. Let's send you along. Take a couple turns to heal. Up the hunter. At this point, I might as well start spending money for extra growth. I earned that quantity in 2 turns. Why not? Ooh, pit viper tail. And I already have subdued gorilla. I've already subdued a gorilla before, so barbarian wandered off. I wonder where to. There. Not that I have any actual interest in fighting it, it's just going to be annoying until I can get to the point where I can easily outdo it somehow. Okay, culture it is. I highly doubt. Yeah, no science buildings. Kind of avoid the piercer for a little bit because, well, okay, maybe not. Yeah, I can finish building it early, and by that point I will have conduct, so I can see what the new stuff is. I don't know. I haven't done anything crazy like memorize this game thoroughly, so I do have knowledge, and some of it's outdated because of the update I've made. So, oh, you're going to be annoying, aren't you? I can't really fight a Nile Not happening. I could just move and hope it doesn't end up attacking me. Good. Raw stone down here, and marble, and incense. And sugar here, too. A city here would be great. Although, annoyingly, there's no good option to build a fort and have it as a canal through here, because, well, except maybe, the dunes aren't going to produce much, are they? Or the desert. So, I could probably build a fortification here, or maybe in the salt flats. Yeah. The dinky little desert isn't going to give me much. I'm not at the point where I can get my units to attack multiple times per turn. Blitz is something that tends to be a bit of a ways away. Also, start collecting them. I think it might be better to do a longer hunting trip where I collect them all anyway, because I'm going to be slowed down anyway. And should I lose the hunter, there's still a stone maceman with 4 strength that can fight like half the animals out there, and definitely all the mobs. Nah, I'm not risking that. Tall grass gives up too much of a defense buff.
Capital punishment is as fundamentally wrong as a cure for crime, as charity is wrong as a cure for poverty.
You know, I would generally agree. But this was said by Henry Ford, apparently, so now I'm not so sure. Nah. People can have correct opinions all the time. And wrong opinions. After all, they're just people. Or, well, perhaps better put, opinions that I agree with. Oh, no. -3 Oh, jeez. Considering it takes hundreds of turns to build up population? Oh, no, that's real bad. Yeah. Set up a wood carver. Set up a sentry post. 2. Yeah, that should be enough to have maybe a turn left for barter or something. Tar pit. Direwolf. Probably a snake or a crocodile. Is that a wild? No, that's a mandrill. I don't have actually that many healing upgrades, so I guess I'll add garrison. Kill the mandrill. Not too happy about that. How can a koala withdraw? Is my question. Because seriously, that one's plenty weird. Henna. Oh, that's a Komodo dragon. Cool. I was hoping to subdue. This would be a fairly defensible spot. I'm just wary of the barbs that are wandering about here. Oh, there's that Galapagos penguin. Gotcha. Thankfully, they were avoiding me. I do not want to. It's still weird that there's ice here, but when there's, you know, jungle at the same latitude. Tundra with jungle all the way just over here. Sure, it's a few mountains away, but the chimp has withdrawn. Moved out of sight. Might have been attacked by the spike clubman. Because animals can actually attack each other. They do hunt each other, so. They won't be able to move far, so I will be at least able to attack one of them. Unless none of them move. Donkey! Ooh, subdued. I mean, there are donkey resources near Honolulu, so it's not actually a problem. That I need to obtain one of them. It is nice to actually be able to subdue one of them. Another African penguin. Well, an African penguin instead of a Galapagos penguin. Of course. I think the trading post that comes out is actually pretty good, so let's just gather some beach sand. Snare 3. Bongo! Oh, come on. Oh, did not move.
All of our relationships begin, and most of them continue as forms of mutual exploitation, a mental or physical barter, to be terminated when one or both parties run out of goods.
Has this person never heard of the concept? Altruism? That could also be a character in a novel saying that. That's supposed to, you know, satirical or something. I don't know. Barter never really existed historically either. It's just too difficult to have something that both people want at the same time. Usually it was a sort of mix between gift economy for people you trusted. In other words, you basically gave people stuff with the expectation that, you know, that when you need something, they'll get it to you. Basically the concept of, you know, pay it forward. Help someone, and eventually they'll help you back. And then there's also, you know, well, there's also uh, the related concept of a debt economy, however slightly different. It's basically a gift economy, except you keep track of who gave what. And if they're indebted to you, they're supposed to, you know, pay it off at some point. Or at least, you know, be nice to you until they can pay it off. Anyway, Um, craft set, right? Yeah. Anything else of interest? Not particularly. I don't need actual health or happiness right now because I have so much of it. I could work on reducing the amount of disease though. So for example with this. However, I already have the excremental, so the benefit isn't that high. It might be smart to work on building... Well, then again, I also don't want to build something that's too expensive so that I can start building tribes as soon as they arrive. So I think I'll go with the Frontier Outpost. This will lower crime and also start getting me some more espionage points. Which are useless until I find someone, but it's not that important. There we go, another African penguin. Don't know why they didn't bother running away, but... Subdued Numbat. Hey, is that damaged chimp? It might have been. But it wasn't damaged anymore, that's for sure. Oh hey, a volcano. If I want to have at least some care of where I am when near them. Because volcanoes can be very damaging if they happen to erupt at the wrong time. Moose! Drat. And Okapi successfully subdued. Whoa, that's a lot of food. Although it makes sense, a moose is not exactly a small thing. Bengal tiger. Got a 50% defense bonus, it should be enough, hopefully. Yeah, it didn't bother attacking. Okay, I can afford the gold to do that. So far I haven't run into anyone, so I think I'm gonna save the goody hut for when I bother to build a wanderer and actually, or scout unit specifically. An exploration type unit, or a recon type unit, whatever it is that the actual category is. Wait for that to properly bring itself, for that to, wait to build one of those, and then bring it along over to there. I don't like how the water birds just sit in the water. An orangutan! Sadly, I don't think it has any animations, I was about to say, but then it moved over to here. Yep, just a model. Maybe. It's slightly growing and shrinking. Probably to emulate breathing, maybe? Aw. I was hoping to subdue it. It's over here. Small croc. Drat. Sand painting. Yeah, I'm genuinely surprised I still haven't run into anyone. I stand a decent chance of winning against an Asian elephant. Great hunter. Okay, I can make it so that every city gets an animal mascot, or turn you into a master tracker. Oh yeah, so every time you build a wonder, it does this. Or finish a project, which are like wonders but different.
Civilization is the progress toward a society of privacy. The savage's whole existence is public, ruled by the laws of his tribe. Civilization is the process of setting man free from men.
So many things wrong with that statement. Can you honestly say that in an age where mass surveillance is becoming more commonplace, that civilization is an effort towards increasing privacy? Anyway. Move to a tribal society away from primitive. This results in 4 turns of revolution. I don't remember if this sort of thing exists in Civ 5 and Civ 6, but normally, as a penalty, in order to keep you from changing civics too much, you get turns of anarchy, which, considering my civic is currently anarchism, doesn't particularly make much sense. Perhaps it would be better put as reorganization. I don't actually need raft building, do I? Well, then again, being able to trade on coasts and rivers is going to help in keeping things under control once I've begun really working on things. Right. For now, though, anarchy means that no gold is produced. So, basically, anything involving a city doesn't work. No growth, no production, no research, no money, no culture. You can still move units around, though, because crippling your units, yeah, you wouldn't want that to happen. Being completely useless during a turn is bad. It just means that your economy doesn't work for a while. Oh, jeez. It's an inaccessible mountain range, isn't it? Right. Tribe. That's also new. Builds 1% faster with a heck of a lot of items. 2% faster with donkeys, horses, llamas, camels. Okay. Still, and it's gonna prevent me from growing in population. But those 31 turns are definitely going to be worth it if it gets me another city. Of course, I will need to defend the settler. No doubt about it. Yeah, Avoid that tar pit. Unless I know there's no units around. Like right now. Minus 50% defense bonus is incredibly bad. There we go. Been wanting a subdued chimp. Burn like 17. 2/3 of a turn? Yeah. Don't make it complicated. I don't actually need to make it complicated. Tasmanian Devil subdued. Nice. Excellent. Orangutan subdued. There we go. Built up enough culture for the next positive trait. And I also can pick a negative trait or remove a positive trait. Let's go with anti-clerical. Hey, wait, those are familiar. That's a lot of animals there. They've collected onto that tile. I wonder if a lot of the... Okay, it's mostly penguins. The bison hasn't moved from its spot, so... Woo! Nice.
It's lovely to live on a raft. We had the sky up there, all speckled with stars, and we used to lay on our backs and look up at them, and discuss about whether they was made, or only just happened.
Yep, okay. Gorilla attacked. Okay. Sadly, I killed the iguana. No. Quit giving me suggestions like that. Let me handle the city myself. Right now, the most important thing is to build more cities. more cities I build, the faster I grow, the faster I research, etc. Then I have more buildings to build, have more resources to work with, and so on. It's fascinating how they're not even moving. Oh! Another thing that C2C adds that Civ 4 didn't have is natural wonders. Of course, you can't actually do much of anything with them, and you still technically need to build a wonder building associated with it, but and you don't get anything for discovering it, etc. Because, yeah, still it is interesting to add the concept, you know. I'm not sure if it's the precursor, if this came in before Civ 5 or after. I don't know. Either way, Great Barrier Reef is right there. That's a warthog. Okay. Now, where do I plop you down? There's already prime wood here. I already have prime wood, like, over here, I think? No, no. Prime timber right there. There it is. Bison, indigo. I definitely want to ensure that everything borders water so that I can build ships. Because this isn't Civ 6 where you can build a port and then you can build ships even if you're a little ways inland. You have to be against the coastline for that to work. Could pop you right in the desert right here. It's not a bad spot. I'm right next to a river too. I'm not far from the capital. Even if I'm a little ways away. On the other hand, I could go for something slightly more distant. And then work to connect up. Because stone is incredibly valuable and it's right there. Yeah, okay, fine. Whew. That probably took a lot out of the city. Oh, free specialist. From the village hall. Warthog has moved. Hmm. Oh, the lynx attacked. Definitely fortify to heal. The last thing I want is to have that unit weakened when something important, you know, could happen. Like getting attacked by barbs. Because that is pretty bad. Should it occur. Okay. Right, continue heading down here. This is a very good spot. There's a vast number of resources over here. And by the time it gets there, I can dump a bunch of subdued animals into there.
As is the garden, such is the gardener.
I'm worried about the spike clubman, but the slinger is no threat. Yeah, the amount of XP needed to earn the next great person, military great person, is higher now. Much higher. Oh, of course, there's a Neanderthal raft right where I want to place the city. Lovely. Sit here for a while. Okay, build an axeman. Oh, right. I need to get this city started. Oh, that was... That would have been bad had that attack worked, but... You know, crossing river and all that. Plus city defense of 5% meant that... Yeah, it was more likely that things would have been fine. Herd deer, herd bison, feather worker, sneak charmer, master hunter. Well,
It is death that goes down to the center of the earth, the great burial church the earth is, and then to the curved ends of the universe, as light is said to do.
probably not a smart idea to put that to do a lake thing. I think here burial tradition fire would be the best. Yeah. Or maybe save it for later. I can save the decision for later. It's not hugely important, it's just that it's one of the first group of mutually exclusive buildings. Fire, air, water, earth, burial traditions. You can't build all of them, just one of those four. I think cave's independent of the rest. I think. I'm not actually sure on that one. I still have sections here that I haven't got to. I want to see every bit of that continent. Wait, you'll make an excellent defender. No point building this. It turns into a lumber camp. I can... Actually, no. Go for rock. The stone toolmaker is a great deal more powerful. than anything else I can build. As soon as I build it, the rest of the stuff becomes pretty much a cinch. Neanderthal wooden spearman. Die wolf subdued. Should be safe to send it along over. Especially if I stick to the coastline. Oh, they made it so that the cave burial tradition is also mutually exclusive with the rest. It made more sense anyway. Hmm. Sure. Perhaps not. Go with bone burial tradition. It means I can see about tattoos later. Dear. It should be safe enough. I'm not gonna end up building much of anything there, just the trail to connect that up. Yeah, that's 9 production. Then make a gatherer. It will take a while for it to put together the materials necessary for that. Other than again,
If your tattoos could remember and speak why they were conceived, what would they say? Moreover, would their purpose be fulfilled in the future, or forgotten as your road of life experience transitions like a pendulum?
anyway. Um, it's probably going to be faster than that atrocious number of turns because the food and production bonus from hunting goes to the nearest city. So as long as I'm hunting in that beyond that city itself, in that region, yeah. Ooh, hunting would be smart. Yeah, that would be a really good idea, wouldn't it? Now get this fox dance, and also the tumulus, please. That would also be nice. Another deer subdued. And considering how little production Saipon has, 14's a lot. That's a crocodile. That's a bunch of other animals. Yeah, not happening. The camp deer can wait a bit. Especially since I have another one coming in, so might as well do it immediately. Hunter, great. One extra first strike, plus 50% against animals. Woo! An extra plus 50, that's an extra strength against animals. Okay, now let's build enough of a trail to connect these up. I doubt it would work 100%, but if I were to explore the entire thing, I would be able to trade along the coast. Next. Just sit there. That goes to the point of having a hunter's camp in there. Yeah, perhaps I should build a now thinking about it, it's also pretty... Wait, is that an orangutan?
Son
It's
of
pretty big.
Iapetus, surpassing all in cunning, you are glad that you have outwitted me and stolen fire. A great plague to you yourself, and to men that shall be.
Ah, Prometheus. Might as well burn garbage. It reduces the amount of food I need in order to get more pop. Which is really important. Could have sworn there was an animal here. Oh. It was a bunch of birds. And that tile is inaccessible until I can start climbing mountains. And yes, I can eventually climb mountains in C to C. There is no territory that cannot be climbed on. Just inadvisable to stay on. At least eventually, there is nothing that cannot be walked on. I mean, you may have seen the damage per turn in the lower left corner under the info screen for reefs. Yeah, there are tiles that deal 100% damage per turn. So anything that sits on there will take the full it will take 100% hit points, which deletes any unit. It's just a pheasant. It isn't a problem. I shouldn't upgrade the Tribal Guardian. It has 250% city defense, so while sitting in a city, it has plus 250% city defense. And plus 10% defense strength. And 25% versus non-animal barbarians. That's a lot. So plus 250% alone puts it at 7 strength. So it will not have any issues. I think I'll actually set it on the desert there next. Take a turn to fortify. Tarantula. Nice. Subdued. subdued more orangutans. It's pretty good. Pretty good. Let's see, okay. But yes, there has to be city connections for cities to trade, which is actually pretty important. You know, oh, I think I've got, yeah, I've thoroughly done the exploration,
Tis
coastline
the same
exploration.
to him who wears a shoe, as if the whole earth were covered with leather.
Shoes! I've already mentioned that shoes were pretty much the last thing, last piece of clothing that people invented. At least major piece. Concept? I don't know. Though perhaps underwear is something else too. I don't know. 33 turns. Okay. And then lumber camp. This is very tall grassland, so get me my sugar, please. Oh, right, there's an Asian elephant right there. Though, then again, 97%. Subdued. That's 1,000 food. No, no. Okay. Yeah, it was way too much production. So what got destroyed? The burial tradition. Boom. Just build it immediately after. Fear was true. But you see, 1,000 food is okay. A lot, but I need 3,000 food to get to the next. Yeah. By the way, if some of those numbers do seem a bit large, this is partially due to how Civ works. You can have various game speeds, and most of the numbers stay the same, except for costs, basically. The amount of production needed to build a building, the amount of food you need to get to the next population, yeah. The amount of production needed to build a unit. Upkeep costs stay the same, though. It's basically a way just to minimize the amount of changes necessary. Of course, the slower the game, the more warfare strategies. Yeah. Basically, it just means that in warfare, attrition style gameplay, attrition's stronger. Because it takes much longer to build units. So it's a lot more difficult at times to get things done. Depending on what you're trying to do. Setting up cities in this area is going to be annoying. Freshwaters.
Put my hand on the dark skin and felt the chill of centuries long gone. It was as if I had touched the Stone Age.
Evil egg carver. Right, I need to go to this tile. It really doesn't matter which animal comes in because I've got Great Hunter on it. This will do. There we go, city connection established. Anything more is really unnecessary for the time being, so. And is prone to getting pillaged. Plus I can build a more reliable connection through water. Well, water tiles rather than rivers. Because thanks to having rafts, I can trade along rivers. Not entirely sure why there's a difference. Hey, wait a minute, that's illegal. Is a river supposed to have this many exits? I don't think so. It doesn't feel right. Okay, head down here. You should have... okay, you probably won't actually be connected. Great. Another barbarian cock. Subdued. Sun bear. Oh, come on. Subdued raven. I don't remember picking one of those up, so... Moin. Oops. Wasn't paying attention. No subdue. I was hoping to subdue. Because Komodo dragons are cool. And there's a bear there too. There. At least I can start setting up torches and tannin. In order to get more production. The bear was able to take it down? Okay, after you're done with the torches, we can save the tannin for later. Stone axe, tribe. Leadership. Plus 75% XP from combat. Oh, I definitely need to ensure that that unit survives for as long as possible. It is vital. Can't wait till I get hunting.
A well-aimed spear is worth 3.
Oh, I subdued a lion. I mean, I do have a decently high chance to subdue now. Sabertooth. Heal. Okay. Counting sticks, bark gatherer, animal snare traps, drying frame, clay pit, torches, tannin maker. That's Lothbear. Maybe I need to send some hunting units through that in order to clear it out. Okay, tar pit I can avoid walking into. Do not stand on the tar pit. Something will try to take advantage of that. Is that a... No, that's a rotten. Okay. Second there, I thought that was a sheep. Didn't look like one at first. Okay, let's bring those troops in and bring the trophies in, I should say. See what I can do with them. I'll move them along to somewhere. I'll start moving them along to somewhere useful, but then call it for the session. Okay, I need you to wait. Let's see. Asian elephant, lion, lowland tapir, jungle tarantula, and the rest I can turn to culture and science. It's 25% for crossing the river. Okay. Alright. No. I don't want to risk 80. I'm at the point where I definitely don't want to lose this unit because that leadership promotion is rare. Usually you can only get those via great generals. It just indicates how difficult it is to obtain one of those. Anyway, I'll call it for the session, but I'll be back soon. So. I'll see you again next time. Till then,